Let's get started. So today we are going to talk about Facebook Factor. Today is module 1, and it's really, we're going into the beginner stage. Now, before I get started, I'm just going to share a bit about my style with you guys. The first thing is that I do tend to speak really fast, and the more excited I get, and actually the faster I speak. So I hope that's okay with you. And if you're having a bit of trouble, understanding, maybe listen a bit faster. Okay. Now, the next thing is that, those of you who just saw me on camera, English is my second language. I'm Chinese from Hong Kong, came here when I was in year 5. So my grammar can sometimes be a bit off. Sometimes people say that I speak Chinglish because I mix words together that doesn't exist. So there is a tendency that I might speak Chinglish tonight. So yes, I hope that's okay with all of you as well. And then finally, what I really hope we can do is we can interact. Except I'm finding it a little hard to interact with you when I can't see the chat box. So can I just get you to type a little Y so I can see that I'm getting some interaction and people are, okay, cool. I can see a bit of flash going on. Awesome. So this is going to be my cue that we're interacting. All good? You guys are so fantastic. I think we're going to have some fun together. Awesome. So quickly a bit about myself. My name is Lisa Cho. This is my mum and dad. We came to Australia in 1988, 8th of December. This is my baby brother who is 8 years younger than me. He's taller and bigger than me. People think he's my older brother, and I love it when people say that. This is my new family. My partner, Stephen, and I just got engaged at the end of last year. This is his daughter. I'm learning this thing called parenting. She's 15 and it's a bit challenging. I'm sure I can learn a lot from all of you who are parents. And it's funny, what I do find is that parenting is actually really similar to building a direct sales business. So in the next few weeks that we spend together, you'll hear me share a few things around that and how it relates to social media and team building as well. Love animals, pretty much most type of animals. In terms of career, my last job that I had before I got into direct sales industry is I was working for a company called Oracle. I built my business on a part-time basis for 18 months, and then I replaced my full-time income, gone into this business thinking, I'm going to go full-time and I'm going to really smash it. And guess what? I hit the glass ceiling for 2 years. I was working really hard. Doing everything I could. I already had a decent sized team because I was in the leadership title, but I was stuck. Doesn't matter how hard I worked, my business just wasn't growing. My team wasn't growing. They weren't moving up the ranks. Can anyone relate to this? I'm just curious. If I can get you to go into chat and just put a little Y and go, yeah, oh, awesome. So I wasn't the only one. So because I was so passionate with the company that I was with, the product that I was promoting, I'm sure you can all relate. I stuck in it and I started learning about digital marketing and content marketing. And it was because of that and implementing it, what it meant is that I start being able to have reach, and I started to be able to leverage myself. And so as a result, my business started growing and my team started growing. My leaders started moving up the rank. We know that in this business, you can't be successful unless you help others to be successful. And it was because of the digital content, the social media, the training that we put in place, that it was duplicatable, that we started having that leverage in the growth. So as a result, I was doing training, I was speaking, recognition started happening, the travel that, we all understand this industry provides, and some of the results. So I guess I share this with you, not so much to impress you, but to impress upon you that I have been stuck. I have shed the tears, I've pulled my hair out, but I'm so passionate about this industry, and you just persist, and there's light at the end of the tunnel. And what I'm going to be sharing with you in the next 3 weeks is everything that I've done, I've implemented, that helped me get the results that I did. And I trust that if you continue to or persist and take action, that you'll get the same results. How does this sound to all of you so far? Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Great. So this is going to be my little cue. You can all see my screen. So this orange flashing numbers going up, this is your moral support, and this is your interaction with me. So I've got a question for you. We are talking about social media, and in particular, I'm going to be focusing on Facebook. When you do social media, when you are interacting online, do you sometimes feel frustrated and you're not sure whether what you're doing is effective or not? Or maybe you feel like you're wasting your time. A lot of people say to me, I find social media to be so time consuming. I'm just not sure whether I'm, getting any return for it. And it's just because you're not seeing the results. Like social media is one of those things that takes time, needs a bit of a snowball effect, right? So, all of these things, can be frustrating. And sometimes you might feel a bit stuck, like you just, you just want to grow your business, like you feel like you're not making the impact that you want, to make the difference that you want, whether it is, the people around you, to yourself, the health and the wealth, just not quite getting there. I mean, I'm just curious, can anyone kind of feel a little bit of that when it comes to social media? Can I get a bit of a Y, an N, Yeah, okay, cool, awesome. Great, thank you. I can't see what you're typing, as you can see, because I don't want to fiddle around with chat, but with you typing and me seeing the numbers going up, I can see this interaction going. So, really what we want at the end of the day is we want to be efficient. We want to be, doing the right things the right way. We want to be effective, so that with what we do, we are going to be laser focused, and that is going to give us results. Right? And we want to know that if we're doing the right thing, the right way, and we're just consistently doing it, so it's like building a house, one brick at a time, that, it is going to give us, the strong foundation that we want, to give us the leads, to give us, the team retention, all of that. Because at the end of the day, what we want to do is, you want to grow your Young Living business. You want to help more people, whether it is for the health, or whether it's for the wealth, right? So my question to you is, why would you want to make your social media and your Facebook marketing working for you? Can I get maybe, you to share why would you want this to work for you? I'm going to have a quick look at some of the results here. Oh, okay. Yep. 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 Perfect. I want to reach more people. Education. Brilliant. Yep. Yep. Impact people with their health. Fantastic. Yep. And you know what? This industry, this business, Young Living provides that, and we all know that, right? So we just want to be effective and efficient with what we're doing. So yeah, exactly. To more reach and expand your brand, absolutely. So what we're going to go, oh, look what I just achieved. I got my chat and my screen going at the same time. Yay! Can I get a bit of a yay so we can celebrate together? Yay! Oh, you guys are awesome. Okay, so what we're going to go through is Facebook Factor. So why Facebook Factor? You know what? Let's see if I can. So I'm not going to touch anything. So why do we want to focus on Facebook for this training? Well, last year I went to the Millennial Conference 2016 in Sydney. And this slide was actually a slide from MTV. They were one of the presenters, and they shared that 97% of Aussie millennials are on Facebook, right? So if you want to go to a platform where you're going to find your target market, then 97% is pretty good, almost 100%. So then you can go, well, why would I want to target the millennials? Well, according to one of the presenters, Nia, which is a digital marketing agency, They said that by 2025, millennials will comprise 75% of the global workforce. Do we have an opportunity for these people? What do you guys think? Do you think we have an opportunity for these people? Yeah, who is going to come into the workforce? Absolutely. And also from a consumer standpoint, that by 2018, millennials will be have the most spending power of any generation. Would you like to have some of them as your customer? Can I see some feedback? Definitely, right? So whilst we want to have a range of customers, social media is definitely useful for millennials. If you want the millennials as either customers or part of your team, then it is something that you really want to utilize. So now the question might be, well, who are the millennials? So really, there are people that are aged between 18 to 34. Now, the other thing with the millennials is that they like video. So those of you who were at my training at your leadership conference last year, I talked about video marketing. I'm going to go into this in the advanced training talking about Facebook Live. But the thing is 59, so almost 60%, almost 2/3 of the millennials use video content multiple times a day on Facebook. And also 38% do it on Instagram, which is owned by Facebook, right? So if you want to engage this group of people, if you want to speak in their language, then video and Facebook Live is definitely something that you want to utilize as well. So I see Meredith asked, can you define millennials? So here you go, Meredith. People that are aged between 18 and 34. Does that help? Welcome. Okay, so how we're going to break down our training in the next few weeks is we're going to start with basic. So with basic is we're just aligning everyone, right? We don't want to make sure everyone's on the same page, because I know that some of you, is a real pro. I probably can learn something from you. And then some of you, who probably hardly ever use it. You might not even have the app on your phone, right? So what we want to do is we want to align everyone, bring everyone on the same page. And then next week, we're going to go intermediates. And then finally, we're going to go advanced, and we're going to, play with some really cool stuff. How does this sound for you? Awesome. Great. Yay. Okay. So my intention for you investing your time with me in the next few weeks is that instead of you feeling like you need to be chasing for your prospects, because no one likes to be sold to, right? When there's a salesperson, everyone kind of just runs away. Instead of that, what I want is that I want them to be like a fish that jump onto your boat. Now, I don't know whether you have seen this video. I'm going to play this video and see if it works. Hopefully it does. And then it's a pretty cool video, okay?
Yes, that's a good fish. Wow, take a look at this beauty. Who are you?
Okay, can you just let me know whether the video is playing for you? Can you hear volume? Awesome. Okay, so the volume is not that important because it's in a different language anyway. So this guy is on a boat at night with the lights, and can you see fish jumping everywhere? And fish is jumping into his boat. He's getting hit by fish. Ooh. Is it playing? Okay, can you see there's all these fish jumping in his boat? Can you hear him laughing? Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Who would like to you know, have their prospect jumping onto their boat, just like what this guy is? Yes, yes, and laugh. Can you hear how much fun this guy is having? Yes. When you get this right, this is what happens. So let's get into it. Okay, so here are the topics that we're going to cover today. Because this is the basic training, we're going to be talking about personal profiles, so understanding what are personal profiles, what is a business page, what is a group, so understanding the differences between the three of them, and also the top 7 Facebook mistakes that people make. So let's get started. So first of all, what is a personal page? I'm just going to hide the chat so that you can all see my screen better. Okay, so what is a personal profile? So a personal profile is really for a person. You know, that is the account that you use to sign up to Facebook. Now, a user must request to be your friend in order for them to be connected with you and see your posts. And you can choose whether to accept them or not. Now, you can also add friends and family members, so you can set them up in your profile so that you can say these people are actually family members, these people are friends. Now, the other thing is that your visibility of your personal profile is based on the security and privacy setting that you set, and we're going to go into that a bit later. Now, the other thing is that having a personal profile, I'm not sure whether you're aware, but you actually cannot share content for profit. That will violate the Facebook T's and C's. So that is one of the, I guess, features of the Facebook personal profile. Now, I think most people on this call would already have a Facebook page, but what I want to go into or bring your attention to is your privacy setting. So this is a screenshot of my Facebook page. Now, if you want to go into your privacy setting, what you do is, as you can see on the top right corner, where I put number 1, there is a drop-down menu. You click on that, and then right at the bottom where it says settings, you click on settings. And then on the left-hand side, on the 3rd tab, you will see privacy, right? So this is where you can see your privacy setting. So if I'm going to, go through some of the settings that you have under this, under, who can see my stuff. So, who can see your future posts. You can set it, so that everyone can see it. Only your friends can see it. You can exclude people, right? Friends except, certain people, so they won't see your future posts. Or you can set it, for only specific friends can see it, or only me. Don't really see the point of only me, because if you're going to post and it's only me, then you're the only one who's going to see it, right? But the thing is, when I was in the field and I want people to find me and I want people to see me, because as part of personal branding, which we're going to go into next week, is that when you post content, you want people to get to know you. So if you set it up as only your friends can see it, then people in the public won't be able to see you. So it might be a good idea to set that for public, so so people can find you, people can get to know you digitally. Now the other one to look at is like, who can contact me. So at the moment, actually before today, I had it set up so only friends of friends can contact me. So other people that is not within my circle of influence, then they actually can't contact me. But in your case, you're meeting people. You might meet someone in the supermarket, and you engage in a conversation with someone and then you go, hey, you know what? Why don't we connect on Facebook? Now, if you set your setting as friends of friends, then he or she, looking for you on Facebook, won't be able to contact you, right? So, in your case, if you want to connect to people and people can get to know you online, then, that's another setting that you might want to adjust or check to make sure that it is set with everyone. And then the other one is who can look me up, same thing, right? So who can look you up using the email address you provided. So someone might have your email address, they want to connect with you. Depending on your setting, they may or they may not be able to look you up. So that is another setting. So I would encourage you after this training is actually just go into your privacy setting and just make sure that the setting that you have is what you want it to be, and that you are maximizing the chance of people being able to find you, getting to know you, and being friends with you and building a relationship with you online, that is. But then again, it's about taking it from online to offline, right? From one-to-many to one-to-one, which is what I talked about previously in the conference training. So now I'm going to ask you, just going through some of the features of the personal profile, is there anything new that I've just gone through that you might not realize, or, some takeaway that you have? Does anyone want to share if there's something, oh, I didn't know that, oh, I'm going to check that, is there a takeaway for you here? Or if you know all of this already, then share that with me as well and let me know, yep, know all this already. So if, you can just give me a cue so that I know where everyone's at. Okay, didn't know we cannot share for profit. Got this already, brilliant, a bit clear about opening my process. Yeah, well, and this is the thing, Rachel, is being intentional. So your privacy setting is exactly how you would like it to be. Yeah, cool, also. Yeah, exactly. The millennials having so much buying power, totally. So yes, we want to connect with this group. Awesome. So now, you're welcome, Anne. Okay, so let's continue. How are we going? So far, so good? Yep, great. So the next part that I want to talk about is the business page. So what's the business page? Well, a business page is for a businesses, organizations. Now, it is created from an existing Facebook profile account. So previously we talked about a Facebook profile account, which is for a person. So then a person creates a business page. It requires a user to hit a like button to see the page's content. So if for someone to see the content that goes up on that page, they have to like your page. Now, this is something that is relatively new. And when I say relative, I would say probably the last year or so, is that Facebook has now become more of a pay-to-play platform. So in the past, if you've got a page and someone likes it, then when you post, very often they will see your post on the news feed. But now, if you don't do post boosts, so basically, spend a few dollars to boost your post, then the algorithm will set it in a way that only 5 to 10% of your followers will see your post in their news feed, right? So a lot of businesses that we deal with, they spend a lot of money trying to get a lot of likes, and then they realize that, oh wow, with all the effort that I put in, I thought they were going to see my post, but yet, only 5 to 10% of them will see it. Well, we can, I'll show you other things that you can get around that for your exposure, but this is just something to be aware of. Now, you can run Facebook ads with a Facebook page. So you cannot run Facebook ads with a personal profile, okay? But one of the great advantages of a Facebook business page is that you can run Facebook ads, and it can be very powerful. It doesn't have to be a lot of money, but it can definitely give you the exposure to the right group of people. The other thing with a Facebook page is that you can assign admin. So let's just say if you got a business page, for your Young Living business, you can actually assign admin to some of your leaders so that the workload is being shared to manage that particular page. Also, a business page is visible to everyone, so you can't hide a Facebook page or change the privacy setting. If someone look for you, they will find you on Facebook or your Facebook page. Now with your cover photos, so the cover photo is, so if you look at the background image that I've got here, where say Wizard of Wine, that is a profile pic. The image behind it, where you can see the bottle of wine in the vineyard, that's called the cover photo. So they've got this limit of 20% of the image can be text, so it can't be more than that, because they don't want people to blast heaps of promotion material, because then it just takes away the experience of the people who come to Facebook, which is really to socialize rather than being sold to. So it's all about the experience for the users. The other great thing about a Facebook business page is that they have got Facebook Insights, which is like an analytic tool. So you can use Facebook Insights to really track the results of the energy and the effort that you put in your into your business page. It will give you analytics, so you can see whether what you're putting in is generating the results that you want. So a business page is pretty straightforward. So if you look at the screenshot there on the top right corner, you can click on the drop-down menu, and then you simply click Create Page. When you create a page, you'll have a bunch of options, and they'll ask you, well, what type of page do you want to set up? You a local business or place, company, organization, institution, etc. You follow it. If I was to be building a direct sales business, I would probably set it up as a public figure. So that it's like personal branding. So I'm still branding and communicating as myself, but I know that it's for business, and I can do all the cool things like the Facebook ads, etc., to amplify the message, right? So, but you can choose the options that you feel is relevant for you. So, quick one. Can I get some feedback? What is your takeaway with some of the features that we went through about the Facebook business page? Are there new things you learned, or you knew all of those things already? Give me some feedback. Yeah, knew all those, all good. Yeah, really need to upgrade. Yeah, I know. So, especially when we go into the intermediate and advanced training, then Facebook page, the business page, will definitely be very useful. Yeah. Cool. So I just want to be really clear that it's the personal profile that cannot share content for profit. All right, you can do it with a business page, but not a personal page. They're trying to sell things. Yeah, because you could risk getting your account cancelled. And I know a lot of very high profile internet marketers that had that happening, so that's no good. Okay, just want to see if there's any more other. What does it have for? Okay, so I've got a question here. What value does a personal profile have for a business? If it's for a business, you will want to set it up as a business page, as a let's have a look, as a public figure. Right, so you're still being that individual, but it's a business page, so you can sell things, you can post for profit, and you can utilize the features, that really powerful features that Facebook has, for you to get that reach and that exposure. So with your personal page, I wouldn't really do too much business, like very businessy things with it. You can post and you can mention Young Living and your essential oils and things like that, which we're going to go into content sharing next week. But to actually do selling and all of those stuff, do it through a business page, but maybe set it up as a public figure, like a person. Yeah. Hope that makes sense. And okay, so now the next one that I want to talk about is group or groups. So this is where one of my grammar is not very good, whether I should use an S here or not, but I hope you get what I mean. So what is a group in Facebook? Well, basically it's designed for small group communication. It's for people who share common interests. So you can set up your group so that it can be public, so anyone can join, or it requires approval to join, so you make it a bit harder, or you can set it by invitation only, right? So so depending on how exclusive you want your group to be, there are different settings that you can use to set it up. Members of the group will see the group posts in their newsfeed. So unlike a business page, where if a business posts on their page, their followers might not necessarily see their posts on their newsfeed, right? Where I was talking about between 5 to 10% will see it unless you boost the post, then more of your followers will see it. Whereas in a group, if you're a member of a group and there are conversations that is being posted within the group, then your members will be notified about this type of posts. So you get a much greater reach with your group. Okay. The thing is, you can't run Facebook ads within the group. Okay. So to set up a group, really easy. Once again, click on the drop-down menu, click on Create Group, and then it will ask you what type of group do you want to create. What's the name of the group? If you already know people you want to add, you can add them to it. So it can be a public group, closed group, secret group. So secret group means that people can't even find it. Like if they were to do a search, they won't be able to find it. So only by invitation, and then they will become part of it. Now here are a couple of my recommendations I have. So do set up a customer group where you invite your customers to this group. And so this is where you can share the latest promotions, share different stories. And of course, you want to make sure the stories are compliant. If there are, relevant things that is related to the customer, then that's where you can share. People can share their stories, etc. So set up a customer group, because then, you will be able to reach your customers, or it's another way for you to reach your customers easily. However, I don't recommend you setting up a team group unless you are silver or above. One of the great things with this business is that you leverage your upline, you leverage your leader, right? So when you've got a group with just a couple of people, there just isn't enough momentum and energy in there because you don't have enough people. So there is magic when there is number. So when you are part of your silver uplines team and everyone contribute and you get the interactions going, it's just more valuable for everyone. And it also means it's less work for you, right? So, it's great that, in this business, it's a leadership business. It's about stepping up and it's about being the leader. I understand that. At the same time, it's about balancing and being efficient with your time and knowing when to leverage your upline and when to, to step up. And in the case of a Facebook group, because, it does require quite a bit of energy to, administer and comment and all of that thing. So, unless you are silver and above, I would recommend just to be very active in your silver uplines group. Okay. So this is It's not mandatory, but this is, you know, if I was to be building the business, this is how I would build it, and this is how I would, you know, recommend my team and my leaders to do it. Okay, so so once again, takeaway, can anyone share, you know, with what we just went through with Facebook groups? Did you learn anything new? You go, oh, I didn't know this, or it's like, yep, knew all of that, you know, thank you very much. Can I get some feedback, please? Excellent, thank you. I love it when you guys interact with me. Good idea about waiting to, yeah, exactly. Like the tip about awesome, great, thank only usable for silver and yep, leverage, right? Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I know the 5 to 10%, even heaps of our customers that we manage their Facebook accounts, yeah, they were really surprised with that as well. Yeah, cool. Okay, awesome. Okay, so now let's continue. So now that we've understood the setting of a, you know, your profile, a business page, and a group, let's now go into the top 7 Facebook mistakes. So mistake number 1 is adding everyone to your group. So let's just say you decide to set up a customer group. You're like, okay, I need to get some people in there, right? And then I have people done this to me so many times where they just add me into a group. They join a direct sales company, they're excited, they're passionate, and then they just add everyone. And I'm like, I haven't spoken with you for 10 years, and you just added me to this group, and all these things start popping up for me. Very #annoying, right? So do not do that. Instead, only add people who have expressed interest in, you know, what you're offering, what you're sharing, because then they're going to be keen, and then they're not going to be leaving the group. Because when you've got heaps of people leaving the group, you know, you will have, you know, messages and things like that as well. So just, you know, not good. So yeah, so only add people who express interest. Mistake number 2 is that they're always selling on Facebook. So they're on Facebook, they're posting, they got this promotion on, selling this, you know, it's just like people go on Facebook to socialize. People go on Facebook to turn their brain off and relax. So they don't want to be on Facebook to be sold to. And if you keep posting a lot of or being really salesy on Facebook, it's just going to annoy people. So don't do that. Instead, when you post, be social, add value, right? Share funny things so that, you know, people can have a bit of a laugh, you know, because by doing that, you're adding value to them, right? So, or if you find some really interesting article, really interesting videos, share that. Doesn't have to do with Young Living. It's just about, you know, things that interest you, things that makes you laugh, and you are sharing that. Right? So things that you contemplate, right? So share that, because it's about your personal branding and people getting to know you, and that's how you build your tribe. And then you go, wow, you know what? I think we've got a lot in common. And that's how I've got a lot of friends that we connected on Facebook first, never really met, but we see each other post. I'm like, hey, you know what? Let's catch up for coffee. I think we, you know, got a lot in common. It's like, yeah, you know, and then you're going from online to offline, right? So be social, add value. How is this going so far? Is all of this making sense? Can I get some feedback? Yes. Yeah, cool. Brilliant. Do you like this picture? I love this picture. I thought it's so cute. Great. Okay, number 3, right? Ranting. Don't rant on Facebook. So, you know, I don't know whether you've experienced this. Yes. Like for me, I, you know, sometimes when you deal with, say, you know, some telecommunication companies and you deal with their customer service, and you just get so frustrated, you know, and, you know, they waste your time, you're on the phone for ages, and then after spending on the phone for 45 minutes, you got nowhere, right? And you just feel so frustrated, and you just feel like going onto their Facebook page and just rant, right? Who has felt that, right? Can I just, get some, some feedback, or is it just me that I feel that? Yeah, I feel people. Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah. The thing is, then what I do is when I feel that, I control myself and go, okay, I don't think it's a good idea to go on Facebook and rant, because number one, it's not a good expression. It's not a part of me that I really want to put energy and amplify and go out there. But in addition, there's this thing like, it's kind of like called, the digital karma. So so how I see is, do I want people to go onto my business Facebook page and rant because I didn't serve them as well as I could have? We know that we're not perfect, and everyone makes mistakes, and so and I know that I make mistakes sometimes, then I definitely wouldn't want my customers to go onto my Facebook page, or even just on their personal page and rant and tag me and hashtag me. So so that's something that I'm quite conscious of. So don't rant online. Be conscious of something like a digital karma. And if there's something that is really annoying you, then go private. That's when you pick up the phone. That's when you talk to someone and try to get that resolved with the human interaction, rather than doing it publicly in a digital space. And going with the idea of the digital content, the digital karma, is we can work that in our favor, and it's that sharing positivity, right? So when you come across a business that is doing an amazing job, share that. Tag them. Let people know how amazing that they are, and use the digital karma philosophy to work in your favor. So this is a couple of posts. So yesterday I caught the train to, and I was, working on this slide deck. I was pleasantly surprised how awesome was my train ride. I was going from Sydney to Newcastle, so that was a long ride, and gave me plenty of opportunity to work. And you know what? I just felt like the toilets were really clean, in public toilets, etc. It was awesome. So, I just thought, I'll share that. And then I hashtag, Sydney Rail. So, just when you experience something positive, then yeah, absolutely share it. I remember when I was in the field, my upline used to teach me, when you are frustrated, go up, share upward. If you are really happy, share downward, with your team. So it's kind of the same. When it's not good, don't go digital. When it's good, go digital. Does that make sense? I mean, is this resonating with you? Just going to click on see a few feedback. Yeah, awesome, great, brilliant. Yes, great. Yeah, perfect. Yep, just switch off. Just don't rant. Sometimes it's hard, to try to switch off. But yeah, just do that. That's great. Okay, so here's another example. So I actually went to Newcastle to pick up my car because my car broke down over there a couple of weeks ago. I've been overseas. I just got back, so I went to pick up the car. So I didn't even know this mechanic, the tow truck guy. Is that what they call it? Those things that they tow the car. Yeah. So he left my car in one of the local mechanics there. Started talking to the owner, Michael. He was an awesome guy. I walk away from the whole experience thinking, oh man, he's awesome. So I thought, you know what? I'll go to his Facebook page and give a review, right? So, the more you go and put energy in things like that, it just always comes back, both online or offline. As we know, karma has got this miraculous way of doing its thing. So Mistake number 4 is ignoring companies' posts, right? So when the company posts different things, whether it's about, the symposium, the conference coming up, or, promotions, etc., is not engaging with it, right? When you don't engage with the company content, because what you want to do is you want to trigger the Facebook algorithm. The more you interact with a page, or a person, like a profile, the more their content is going to show up on your newsfeed, right? So you want to interact with the company's posts. So this is like digital teamwork, right? So when company do a post and everyone likes it, everyone makes a comment, everyone shares it, then when your prospect sees that post and see there is so much engagement on that post, they're going to go, wow, there's a lot going on with this company, rather than your new prospect or your new distributor who just signed up, really excited, see the post and go, oh, there's not much interaction going on here. Okay, right. So can you see what I mean by digital teamwork? Can I get some feedback? Yes, no, yeah, right. So so you want to operate together as a team for each other's benefit, so that when your colleagues and your new team members join, your new customers join, that they feel that they are with a company that is really rocking and get a lot of things going on. So what do you do instead? Engage with your company post. You like it, you comment it, and you share it. Right, so you share with your customers if it's product related, if it's business related. You can, if you're already within the silver leaders group, don't need to do anything. And if you're the silver and above, then you make sure you share it and be excited about it. Write a comment and really support what the company is doing. So, on the same wavelength, but instead of ignoring the company's post, it's ignoring your team's post. So ignoring your upline's post, your leader's post, so just think about it. When you do a post, how do you want your team and your colleagues to interact with your post? However you want your post to be responded, do that for your colleague, do that for your team, right? Because it's all about teamwork, and I'm going to go more into that in details in the next week's training. So once again, like I said, digital teamwork, support each other. When you see your upline leader do a post, support it, like it, comment it, be excited about it. Because once again, when your leader do a post and your new distributor join and saw, the leader would post with heaps of comments and interaction, they're like, wow, you know what? This team just got a lot going on, right? So let me ask you, do you want your new team member to feel like they're with a team that is happening, or sleepy, not happening? What would you prefer? Yep. Exciting team? Yeah. Happening. Totally. Right? Matu, you are so good. You are just, see, this is what I mean. This responsiveness, you are just rocking it, baby. Yeah, exactly. Brilliant. So that's what you want to do. However you want your team member to respond to you, this is how you do it for your upline and your colleagues. Okay. So number 6. Oops. Let me just minimize this. So number 6 is not being authentic. Like Facebook digital is a really easy place to kind of just hide behind a profile, account. So and I believe that with the consciousness of the Young Living Group, that's probably less applicable. At the same time, it is something that we do see digitally. So I thought I'll bring that out, and it's really quite simple. Be authentic, just be real, just be you, so that when you meet your new prospect from online to offline, the experience that they have is of you is the same whether it is online or offline. Yeah. So it's the having that alignment. And then finally, doing posts and not asking questions. It's kind of like a dead end road. You're driving and you just go nowhere. Or it's like, you're in a party and, you don't ask any questions and you're just making statements. Well, how do you make conversation? You can't, right? So instead, ask questions with your posts to drive conversations, right? So when you post like an experience, you can finish that experience with a question. Has anyone experienced that? Or what do you guys think? Or am I the only one who feel like this? So ask questions, because by doing that, what you're doing is you're driving interaction. And with this interaction and conversations, you are also triggering Facebook algorithm, so that when these people are interacting with you, they're going to Facebook go, oh, okay, well, these people are interacting with this person, so therefore they must be interested in their post. So when you do posts and you're sharing, then Facebook will show your post to those people's news feed, right? So you're doing it really for a digital benefit as well as just a human benefit. Does that make sense? So yeah, any takeaway, with the 7 points that I share with you, did any one or more pop for you that stood out for you? Hey Joshua, great seeing you. Yeah, yep, ask question, respond, yep, so be open for continuous conversation, ask question, brilliant, awesome, thanks Michelle. Yeah, lots to tell, awesome, good, hello. Great, yeah, okay, so yes, company commenting, totally, yeah, good, yes, great. Yep, awesome. So I keep doing this. Yeah, we don't like renting. Yep. So okay, so here's an action for you. And this is just an invitation for some of you who wants to play with me. You don't have to. But if I was to be in the field and I want to share, then I would take photos of things that I'm doing and put comments. So for those of you who want to play, what I invite you to do is take a selfie or take a photo of your computer screen or however you're watching this webinar, and do a post on Facebook, right? So you don't need to do a selfie. Those of you who are really brave and excited, then you can do a selfie with the webinar. Those of you who is a little bit more reserved, you can just take a photo of the webinar with your feet up, or whatever, and then do a post. I mean, if it was me, I would post something like, chilling at home, sipping my herbal tea while learning how to take my business to the next level with Facebook marketing, and then hashtag a few things that I feel is relevant, right? So for me, I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm just sharing, hey, I'm just chilling and learning at the same time, and just kind of like what I'm doing, right? So this is how you can kind of integrate your business and what you do on a day-to-day basis without being too salesy. I had people who comment about some of my posts, and then they say, yeah, with your posts, I can see you're kind of promoting yourself, but you're not being too salesy. I kind of, quite like it. So those are the type of feedback that I get from, from people. So, who wants to play, So now also with hashtag, you can hashtag Young Living, you can hashtag my business, you don't have to. But, you can hashtag things that is relevant, love learning, you can hashtag work from home, right? So then when you do this type of posts and then people see those type of keywords, they just be like, what's this? When I was building my business, I had high school friends that I haven't seen for years who privately approached me and just go, hey Lisa, I see you do this post, I see you traveling, I see you kind of like working, but I don't know what you're doing. What do you do? It just sounds like it's fun. Yeah, and it just generates curiosity, right? And just these little seeds that we plant without pushing too hard. Am I making sense? Just want to check in. Yeah, okay. Can you say what hashtag means? Yep, okay, sure. So hashtag is basically a way that people, digitally people can search. So when they search for specific keywords, like say digital marketing, when you put a hashtag to your content, then when someone else search for digital marketing, then your post will show up as part of the search result for the people looking for those keywords, right? So hashtag is relevant in Facebook, in Instagram, in Twitter, and the search engine actually can scan that. So the purpose of using hashtag, there is two aspects. There is one which is for the search engine, so that you're making yourself more searchable because of like the words that you've tagged to your post. But also for me, it's just kind of highlighting, certain keywords that I want people who check out my post to pick up and generate curiosity. Yeah. Yeah, cool. Awesome. Thank you. Glad that that explains it. Awesome. Thank you. So now let me just bring this to an end. So now, I want to wrap this up with action. So after watching this training tonight, is there any specific actions that you felt that you are going to take with whether it's your setting, your profile, etc.? Yeah. Any need to redo your Facebook page. Yeah. Any others want to share any particular action that you take away from this evening? Work on your Facebook page. Awesome. Yeah. Check on your privacy setting, to make sure you're getting the exposure that you intend to. Share my own posts in fun ways. Yes. Have fun. Yes. Digital teamwork. Chat with your team. You know what? If you've got team members who hasn't joined tonight, you make sure that you bring them in next week and the week after, because I'm going to do the work for you and actually share with them what they need to do. Yeah. So, yes. Will you be talking about Facebook Live? Yes, I will. So yes, you definitely want to be in that one, and you want to get as many of your team members to join us so that you can leverage from what your team members are going to learn in the next couple of weeks. Sounds good? Awesome. Okay, so just to wrap up, this is what we're going to go through next week. I'm just going to close this up. Oops. Okay, so next week we're going to go into personal branding. We are going to be going into sharing content, because when you're on Facebook, there are different ways you can share content. So we're going to go into that. We're going to go into a content rhythm, how you can do this with a rhythm so you can do it with ease and grace. And then we're going to talk about team power, right? So make sure you get your team onto it so you get as much leverage as possible. And finally, how you can generate leads with Facebook. Right. So on that note, I want to say thank you. Those of you who do want to connect with me, then these are my social media profiles. So I'd love for you to connect with me. And I would love to see how you go. So Katrina, I guess I will hand it back to you.
Right. Thank you, Lisa. I mean, that was amazing. I learned lots too myself. I could just feel the energy from that and from the way people responded. Just a couple of questions people asked that I think might just help with that. One was, somebody says, is it better to do the emojis like and smile and sad face, or to actually text and reply to a comment? How does that kind of work, one over the other?
Sure. Okay. So I guess it really up to the individual and the personality. I love mixing both. And I think, an image speaks 1,000 words. So when you start using emojis, then it also makes your message pop as well. So yeah, play with it, have fun with it, bring colors to it. If that's your personality, yeah, you know what, just go for it.
Cool. And I think someone else asked earlier on, and you kind of answered this. They were talking about if you've got somebody on your personal profile page, how do you invite them into your group? But I think you did end up answering that one as we went through it.
Yeah, you can just invite them. So once you've got a group set up, then you can invite people. So then you can just invite them. But don't invite everyone. Please don't.
If they express an interest.
Yes, exactly.
That's great. Well, listen, I can't wait till next week. So it'll be Tuesday, same time, same place. And please, yes, encourage your team to come along. There's plenty of room for more people to join in. We have recorded this, so once I've finished this meeting, we'll start. I'll be downloading the recording, and within 24 hours, that should be sitting in the virtual office under monthly training. So you'll be able to find it there, and I will also be posting the link on the Australian members page and the YL Entrepreneurs page, so that you'll be able to access it from that too. Because I definitely think this is something that you want to watch again. I was taking some screenshots with my phone as well. So you might want to do that as you go through it, so it helps you remember some of those tips and tricks that Lisa shared with us. So thank you so much, Lisa. We'll see you next week, and thank you everyone for joining in.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. Good night.
Good night.